Hi, this is Monica Muir, and today I want to talk about filters. And what a filter is when you are in QuickBooks, and it's a way of restricting some of the information. So you're trying to filter and look at only the things you want to look at. And there's a couple different ways that you can get to filters. And I'm going to start with one of my favorite features, and that's actually the find feature. Now, I'm a keystroke person, so I always do Control F, but if you're not a keystroke person like any of my clients, then maybe you want to do edit and find. You can also put it up on your toolbar, so you can get it that way too. So many of you may actually have seen this screen where you're simple and maybe you just put in like an invoice number. I've seen, many of my clients will look that way. Don't let the word advanced scare you. I wish they had come up with something more, maybe just more detail or something. But what I want you to see is just all these different ways that you can actually start to narrow down what you're looking for. And that can be helpful, especially if you've had a file that's been a company file that's been going on for a long time. But I love it because it will find things so much faster than you will. So I'm going to just start with a simple one and just put in the amount. Now notice, now I'm in the 2017 version, that I can actually put in like an exact dollar amount, so maybe if the bank reconciliation isn't working, you want to look for something, or you want to find a check payment or something, but I can put in a dollar amount. So I'm just going to put in 500 here, and then that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to click on find. Notice how quickly it found transactions. Notice that it found different types of transactions. So, and it's got a lot to maybe sort through. So maybe you don't want to sort through as many. So maybe you know that it's a certain type of transaction. So I could come over here, and if I come down here, you can scroll down. I'm going to type in T because rather than scrolling, but maybe I know that it's a certain type of transaction. So I can either pick a specific type of transaction, or I could pick a couple different kinds. So you can do multiple and you can pick more than one. So I'm just going to say right now, I'm just going to say that maybe it's a bill, and I'm going to click on find. And so now it's pulled up these bills, and if I click on report, I can see a list. And what don't, for those of you who aren't comfortable with accounting, don't panic when you see this. This is the two sides. So when you enter in a bill, one side is the accounts payable, the other side is the reason for the expense, okay? Maybe you want to put in a date range. So I can come back here and I can go down to date, and then maybe working in the future here. So I'm just going to put 11/1/21 and then do 11. And now I've shortened my list. I'm going to, let me pull out a couple of these, and I'm going to pull this one out, and I'm going to pull, that's my date range, it's custom, and I'm going to leave that and go back to find. A couple of things I wanted to highlight here. Truly, it's worth at some point going through. There's a few things I will point out. Posting status, I know most of my clients aren't familiar with that. Posting has to do with whether or not it's going to affect your numbers. So an example of, say, an estimate or a sales order does not affect your numbers. So I know a lot of you have lots of estimates, but they don't affect your profit and loss. They don't affect your balance sheet. Posting means that it does. So maybe we're looking for a non-posting transaction. And if I click on find, here's purchase orders and estimates for that dollar amount. So that's one way. And probably one of my, sometimes if I'm looking for payments, I might narrow down by payment method. But one of the other ones that I really, really like, and let me go back and I'll put in, it's probably not going to be good. It works in your own books better than when you're working in the future. So I'm going to go down to entered modified. So maybe you know that it's a transaction that you did yesterday or today, but you're not sure. Like I know around the change of the years, I'm always good. I put the month and the day and I leave off the year. Right now I don't have to put in the year because QuickBooks will automatically put in this year, 2017. But when I'm in January, if I do that, maybe I needed 2017, but because I just put the year, maybe I really wanted to find something in 16 and I didn't do the date. So anyhow, You're not sure what date you used, so the deal is then maybe it went to the beginning of the year, the wrong year. So entered modified, you can put in T for today, or you can put in a date range. So if we know that we did it, I'll just put in T for today and see what we find. So here's transactions that we did that were entered today in the sample file. So again, in this particular sample file, I could narrow it down by type of transaction. I could narrow it down by maybe who it was made, if it's a payment or an invoice, who the customer or the vendor is, all sorts of ways, and you can have multiple layers. So this is actually sometimes the way that I begin reports, but I tell you, I mean, I've been in QuickBooks a long time. I must use the find feature almost every day. It just finds much faster. So anyhow, don't let advanced scare you. Be willing to poke around a little bit. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to help you. Bye-bye.